And even as we look at this new vector, one thing is becoming clear, that Donald Trump perhaps may have got his calculation very, very wrong. Geeta is joining us on this broadcast as well. Donald Trump, remember, has now said that he's ready to support armed Iranian groups to overthrow the regime. And to discuss this, we have someone who's in fact backing the crown prince in exile, Reza Pahlavi, Iranian actress. Mandana Karimi is joining us live from Mumbai. Mandana, it certainly appears that on the streets of Iran as well, there is now support for the current regime. It's largely the Iranians outside Iran who may be backing Reza Pahlavi.
Yes. And I just want to correct you on a statement that you just made. This support hasn't been today or just because of the Khamenei's death. It's been there since January 8th and 9th. And the gathering that we had in Munich, specifically in Munich, of millions of Iranians that came on the streets in United States and Europe and a lot of other places, it was the call of Reza Shah Pahlavi. And I want to be very specific with that because I feel like a lot of media, a lot of people, a lot of West and East and the lefties, they're making this to be some sort of a other conversation that, oh, what's going to happen now that the Khamenei is dead? And what's going to happen while Israel and America, they have hit Iran, right? So I just want to say very clearly, Reza Shah Pahlavi's name has been chanted by Iranian people from Iran and the people outside of Iran, the diaspora of Iranians, for past 2 months. But unfortunately, the media, specifically Indian media, have been seeing this or hearing it just because Khamenei is dead. And the war has happened. So.
Okay, Geeta?
Well, Mandana, I was in Tehran and I know that there is a lot of disillusionment against the regime, but certainly not as much popularity for Pahlavi as you're suggesting. There might be some sort of a faction that really would want Pahlavi, but many others do not. Maybe they'll be looking for a democratically elected government.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to cut you out. A lot of Indian channels, and I have been specifically spoken about it, by knowing my life would be in danger by living in India and having this opinion, is the fact.
No, absolutely not. Mandana, no. Your life is not going to be in danger. No, I'm sorry. You're in India, you're on Indian soil. You can say what you want to. We are actually a democratic setup. Your life is not going to be in danger.
Let me clear something to you. Because it seems like you don't know where I come from and what I've been doing in India for so many years. So let me give you a back forward of what I've done in India. In 2010, I came to India. I'm not a political person. I'm not part of any parties. I'm not part of any organization. Okay. 2010, I came to India as a simple, basic model. And if you know a backstage of any modeling shows that it happens, a reporter asks a question of the models. Where you're from? How do you feel about the show? Whatsoever. And 2010, I just said I am from Iran. And the next day, there was an article saying there's a new model in town in Delhi whose name is Mandana Karimi, and in matter of like 48 hours, I was called to the embassy and I questioned. And I've been questioned for so many years in India. And that's not the point of this interview or a conversation. But to answer to your question, the reason I'm so disheartened by the Indian media is the fact that a lot of people, and so has your platform, has given a platform to the regime that has been murdered thousands of its own citizens for years and years and years. And
but
suddenly,
Mandana, the fact is that regime also had support and continues to have support on the streets of Tehran. Geeta has reported from that. So let me ask you another question, Mandana.
I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to cut you again. I'm sorry to cut you again. I posted I post actually on my social media about your platform of sending so-called and a reporter to Iran and talking about, oh, Iran, it looked like another city or a country in Europe. While I am from Iran. The reason I left Iran, because at the age of 18 years old, I was watched my own friends to be lashed, 75 lashes in front of my own eyes, okay? Because of the morality of the police, because of the basic human rights as a woman to be accepted, to have a boyfriend, to be in a public places. And I watched my friend to get lashes, and that's why I left Iran. So, an Indian reporter who goes to Iran.
But Mandana, that so-called reporter was me. I was there in Iran. I had gone to interview Arakchi. And I'm telling you very clearly that what we saw is what we were reporting, that not everybody, which means the protests after Mahsa Amini actually shook the regime. That they had relaxed moral policing is what we were reporting about. And I am also the person who actually cut my hair on live television protesting the regime and supporting Mahsa Amini. So I'm sorry, I don't think you know my work well enough to say that I just went there to do that.
My dear, I've been watching
Mandana,
your news.
I very clearly went there. No, you have to give us an opportunity to. I went there to interview Arakchi because he was going into talks with America. Just ahead of the talks in Geneva, I cover foreign policy. It is my job to interview foreign ministers who are going for important assignments. When we went there, we were talking about how the moral policing in Tehran has come down after the protests. And it is true. I did not wear a headscarf anywhere in Tehran except for when I was doing the interview because it was the official building.
My dear, I respect you. Woman to woman, forget the politics, forget the fact that you're a reporter and this is a news channel or whatsoever. I respect you as a woman. I respect you, the fact that you put your life in your hand and you went to Iran. I kudos you for that. I bloody respect you for that, because I know as a woman going to Iran as a reporter, right? If you're gonna say something that is not as per as what the government wants, what your life is gonna be. I kudos you for that. I do not doubt that. And I respect you. I salute you that.
All right. There seems to be some problem with that line of Mandana.
There are reporters that they go to Iran and they see what you see and what the government wants you to see. What I'm saying, please have an empathy with the Iranian woman who I have lost my childhood. I have lost my teenager time to the government.
We absolutely do. There is no question about that.
I do.
Not standing
I know
with
you do.
There is no question about that.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Please let me finish. I respect you a lot, but the fact that you give a platform to murderous regime who has killed my own friends. I'm not talking to you as an organization. I'm not talking to you as a political party or whatsoever. I'm talking to you as an Iranian woman who's been arrested and watched her best friends to get lashes. And I have a mark in my own body from that
Okay,
incident.
I just need to ask you one question then, Mandana. Please allow me the time, Arya.
Sure.
Mandana, I need to ask you this.
Please do.
And we're talking geopolitics here. You're here because there's a war that's on, right?
Yes.
And that war is being waged by Israel and America, not America alone. If Iran loses, Israel wins. A very strong Netanyahu who also has completely taken Gaza by storm, razed it to the ground. You're okay with a stronger Netanyahu in the region?
Can I tell you, can I answer you in this way? Again, 3 months ago, for the first time in my life, I went to Israel. For first time in my life. I've studied in Iran. I went to Islamic Republic private school in Iran. Every day in the morning, they taught us death to Israel, death to America. When I was a kid, I was punished because I asked my teacher, who is Israel and who's America? Why do we hate them? And they didn't have an answer for me. They punished me. At the age of 39 years old, as an adult, I went to Israel 3 months ago, okay? I have Israeli friends, and I went to the border of Gaza, and I saw it with my own eyes. And the reason I was able to do that, because I don't have Iranian passport anymore. I have different passport now. It's not Indian, but I have a different passport now. I went to Israel and I saw it. The bullshit that Iranian regime, the school that I have studied, they teach us to hate Israel for no reason. It absolutely doesn't exist. And I'm sorry to say that. If my country has been oppressed for 48 years and I have lost my school friends,
All right,
I've lost
Mandana,
my friends.
we certainly understand your sentiments. So
I'm
thank
sorry,
you
I'm
so
sorry,
much.
I have to
Thank you so much for joining us.